Have all three names now of the men killed by a suicide bomber. They are Sergeant First Class Sean Hannon, Sergeant First Class Jeffrey Rick, and Captain Nick Rozanski.
It's imperative. Can I see a show of hands before how many people have ridden in one of our escorted rides? Okay, we've got quite a few people, so you guys know the drill. But for the folks that have not, it's imperative that we ride single file. We've got a few officers with us today on motorcycles that are going to be shutting down the ramps as we go along. They have to hold that ramp closure until the last bike in the motorcade passes. Then they have to come back around, get back up front in time to catch the next one. So to do that, with the motorcade running about probably 45, 50 mile an hour, those bikes are going to be traveling 110 mile an hour or so to get back up front. You need to ride single file and in line. If you change lanes, we could have something catastrophic happen today. It'd be a bad day for one of my guys, and we can't let that happen. But other than that, we'll be going here shortly, and have a good ride.
Why don't you hold off now? Get out on the road.
Okay, just let me get that.
announce a special guest here. We've got General Harris, who is the Assistant Adjutant General for the Army National Guard here in Ohio. Thank you for coming, sir. I just want to say, my name's Jeff Leslie. I'm the organizer of the ride. Last year, if you were here on this ride, I had a special guest read a little script. Well, this year I'm going to do it because I figured I'd let everybody see who I am, since I'm the one that, this is my brainchild. I like to do group rides for a couple reasons. Number one, well, it's supposed to be safer because you're keeping everybody together and you're not just out running willy-nilly down the road. And the other one is, this is my main reason for doing a group ride, is we disrupted traffic today, okay? You all saw that. That's a good thing, because the lead vehicle had the little signs on it that said Nick Rozanski Memorial Foundation, and we want people, while they're sitting there in traffic cussing us out, to Google that on their iPhone, okay? We're trying to spread the word as to why we're doing this. It just makes people aware, okay? Because this is there's no more noble cause than what we're doing here today, okay, in my opinion. So that's why we do the group ride. We're going to continue to do this. It's a little smaller than it was last year, which I'm kind of disappointed with, but it might just be because it's the weekend after the 4th, you know, people going to the beach or whatever, but I'm going to try to move it towards the end of the month next year, so be looking for that. I'm going to create the Facebook page and all that. I want to get more people. I'd like to have 2 or 3 times this number if we can do it. So spread the word, you know. If you were here last year, thank you for coming again. If this is your first one, thank you for coming on this one. I hope to see you again next year. I got a little patriotic speech I'm going to read here, and then that'll kind of tell you what's going on with this. Today we're gathered here at this memorial site to remember that we are one nation with one flag. We're all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people, many races, from many different backgrounds. The freedoms we enjoy as Americans today have not come without a price. The markers here at this memorial represent the heroic men and women from the great state of Ohio who gave their lives in the global war on terror so that we can live in freedom and without fear. Instead of hanging out on a street corner being an unproductive member of society, or in a coffee shop criticizing our government, the soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen whose names are on these markers decided they would stand up, take action, and do something for their nation. Many of them were still in grade school on September 11, 2001, when the lives of all Americans were changed forever. And after watching the reality of war brought into their living rooms by today's media, they still raised their right hand and swore an oath to defend the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic, knowing full well that they would most likely end up in Iraq or Afghanistan with a rifle in their hand. Some of them did it because they had friends that were also joining the military. Others did it for the veterans' benefits or simply for the college money. Even more of them were already serving, and deployment was just one more set of remarks on a DD-214 that they already had. Most did it because they came from good families of generations of other men and women who answered the call, and they couldn't just sit in front of their TV watching their brothers and sisters serving in harm's way and do nothing. For all those people whose names are inscribed on these markers and the stories and families behind each one of them, we'll never forget. On April 4th, 2012, Captain Nick Rozanski, Master Sergeant Sean Hannon, and Master Sergeant Jeffrey Rick, all Ohio National Guardsmen and residents of the Columbus area, were killed in action in the city of Maimana, Afghanistan during operations in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. They were on a combat patrol when a suicide vest IED detonated himself near them, killing them and several Afghan civilians nearby. We are here today so that the memory of their sacrifice, as well as that of their families, is not forgotten. We're also here to celebrate their willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice for their country. The Nick Rozanski Memorial Foundation was established to benefit students and families within the local Dublin community through scholarships and other charitable foundations. The scholarship will enable future generations of young, courageous men and women like Nick Rozanski to follow their dreams. The foundation will provide Nick's family a way to touch the lives of others year after year in honor of their husband and father, and will serve as a way to give back to the community that Nick was such a big part of and had given so much to him. The United States has always been the first nation to stand up and fight for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of you here today are veterans of wars and conflicts that America has had to fight to protect the innocent and oppressed. You answered that call and served your country well. We are here to say thank you, and we are honored to know you. There are many men and women serving right now in all branches of the military, here at home and in places far away that most of us have never heard of. These men and women are part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifices they make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice that plagues the world today. When you see a veteran or a serving member of the armed forces, take a moment to say thank you. We owe them our way of life, and a moment of your time thanking them is time well spent. Finally, it wouldn't be a ceremony without a quote. To quote President Ronald Reagan, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We did not pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day, we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free." Honor Guard, attention. Now Jenny and her daughters Emma and Anna will lay a wreath at the marker placed in memory of their husband and father, Captain Nick Rozanski.